Welcome friends. So today I'll talk about my new means topic, and this is boost relation over a TCP network. So what I'm trying to do here, we have a client process and we have a server process. Both are written in C++. So client process, what is doing, it's creating a student class object and initializing its member variable. And so in my example, I have used employee. So we have two objects. Let's say first object is that it has some member variable. So we are creating a class object, and from the TCP network we are sending this object via using the boost relation technique. And then from the TCP network the data is sent towards the server receives the data, means binary data. It deserializes the data over a string, and then it loads the data onto a class, same means a class object. So we are sending object over a TCP network. So let's go back to the code to see it in detail. So here is my the class name. So I have shown the student there, but I have used employee data, and I'm using three member variable. First is the name of the employee, second is the age, and third is the name of the company. So we have some of the functions: show data to display the member variable details, and then save and load. And there is another function is it serialize. So serialize is mainly the boost serialization method, so which we overload via calling save and load. So what is save is doing and what is load is doing, so I will explain in boost-cpp. Okay, so I will explain it in detail. Let's go back to our server class and the client class. So first let's see the client class, and we have a client. Okay, so what is client trying to do is trying to connect to a server which is listening on localhost, and the port is 1234 here. So let's see the server. So server is listening for any connection, means on port 1234. It's listening on port 1234 and localhost, and then it's accepting waiting for any connection. You can see over the comments. And in the client, what is client trying to do is connecting with the server listening on that port. And then we have created an employee object, and we have filled three member variables: the name, the age, and the name of the company. Then what we are doing is that we are creating a buffer of OS stream. Okay, so it's currently it's have no values. Now what we are doing is saving data in that OSS O stream. Okay, and saving what? The employee object here. So this will call the function which we defined in the employee boostserialize.cpp class. So we have a definition of our employee data save method, and then we are using the technology, API of binary archive. OA is actually we are receiving the binary data. So what we are doing is we are creating a binary object, and then what we are doing is that we are loading all the data, saving all the data in this binary archive. And this is our class object emp, because it's the calling object. Okay, so all the object data means store in the archive in a binary form. Okay, so if you see, the now employee have saved the data into the buffer of OStream here, right? So what we are doing is we are writing to the server socket that buffer, and this is the callback function. Once we receive a response from server, we will call this onSend completed. Okay, now go back to server class. Here is the server class. Once the client has sent this message, this function will get called. Okay, and we will receive the message in the string mssg. Now we have received the message, complete message in the binary form. So what we will try to do, we will create a new employee data object, and we will call this time the load message. So all the binary message which we received from the client, it will be stored in this new employee, the load function will get called, and we will see we have defined load function in this class definition. And here what we are doing, this is the binary string which we are passing the parameter, and then this is the iString, and then we are passing this to binary archive, and via calling this we are loading our means loading all the data, binary data, into this current object. So now server has the data loaded from the client, which is received via the TCP socket, and we will then finally display the data. So all this complete code I will share to you on the link below. So there's no need to write all those. So let's first compile this program. So let's go back to my Ubuntu VM. So let's wait, we will compile this. So yeah, it's a bit slow, so yeah, so let's clear this output. So first we will compile the server via this function. So it will compile. The RAM is slow in the Ubuntu, so it will take some time. So the server has compiled. Now it's time to compile the client program. So let's wait. So the client also compiled. So let's execute our server. If this server is running on the port 1234, let's run our client now. So we are running client. So the client has executed, and if we go back to our server, we see that server has received 81 bytes of data, and it was able to display the member variable of that object, which was accurately, if we write on the client, if you see, we have write those data in the client. Let's go back to the client and see what we have written: the name, age, and Microsoft, right? So the server was able to load that data from the socket, which is received, the binary data it's received in the socket, and it displayed it. So that's all. By using this boost relation technique, you can send class objects or any data in a binary form, and we can retrieve it back to the our server. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next on my new tutorial. Till then, bye, and please subscribe my channel.